Time is barely on our side. I don't wanna waste what's left. The storms we chase are leading us, and love is all we'll ever trust. Yeah, no, I don't wanna waste what's left. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, and on we'll go. Through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, and on we'll go. See the horizon turn us to thousands, and we'll grow in number, fueled by them to see the horizon turn us to thousands. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays. And close till I get up. Time is barely on our side. I don't wanna waste what's left. The storms we chase are leading us, and love is all we'll ever trust. Yeah, no, I don't wanna waste what's left. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, and on we'll go. wastelands, through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, and on we'll go. Turn us to thousands, and we'll grow in number, fueled by them to see the horizon. Turn us to thousands, and on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, and on we'll go.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Off the Track. I am Davey, also known as GTR Kicker in the community, and I'm joined by my good friend Jason, as always. How's it going, man?
It's going good, man. How are you?
I'm fantastic, man. I'm doing great. So, got Super GT coming on here in a few minutes, so it's always a good day. All right.
The legend himself. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. All right. So, relatively quiet week again in the Forza community. We got a couple of things that we're going to go over this week. We got a couple community events that are starting to take shape and stuff like that. So first up on the agenda, we got Clio Cup from ORL and Tactical dominating as usual. Again, I feel like we're always talking about him every week, man. Every week it's just, oh yeah, GTR Tactical, there he is.
well, yeah. Actually, we've got some interesting stuff going on in the DOR thing, so we'll hold on to that for like that comment. But yeah, it looks like everybody in GTR took a break last week except for Tactical. You know, just so he can extend the lead a bit further.
Listen. I had to take a week off. I just got back to school.
I know you did, but it just seemed to coincide with everybody else as well. Like
Caesar and Warwick as well couldn't make it, so a little tough. But I would say that Tactical's pretty much got this in the bag. No close threats, to be fair.
When he had it in the bag halfway through the season, I don't really know what you're talking about.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's all good. So well, that's Tactical for you guys.
Yeah,
we see him in a league community event. Just run and hide. I assume it's probably your best bet.
We still don't have the team standings because they are still messed up, I believe. I think, as far as I know.
Yeah, they still haven't updated since week 1, which is always good.
Yeah,
but I'd say that your team there has a strong, convincing argument for first place there with all of you in the top 3.
Yeah, so we'll see how it goes. But yeah, so speaking of DOR, here's the driver standings for the DOR, and that is, I believe, is that SCT Spectre up top?
Yeah, Spectre's up there, I think. Not too sure. Tactical just had a bad round, it looks like. Not sure why. Maybe it's... I was going to say it's front-wheel drive, but he's a front-wheel drive god, so... Not really sure what happened.
Dude, don't ask me. I'm not sitting in the lobby spectating these. I wish I had time to do that. You know?
Yeah, so do I. But yeah, not too sure what happened there. But yeah, he seemed to have dropped a place to Spectre. So, like I said, not always Tactical on top, which is a nice change actually. So we don't have to talk about Tactical. We can talk about Spectre instead. I don't know anything about Spectre. Do you know anything about Spectre?
Well, I've raced with him a little bit, and he's got some pace to him. I mean, he's not, he's a pretty good driver, and so seeing him up top, I mean, I can't say I'm not surprised, because of some of the drivers that are actually in this lobby as well. But he does have some pace to him, and maybe starting to build up a little bit of a reputation for himself. I mean, that's good for him. So
yeah, that is good. Looks like Burkett kind of dropped off the top 15 there as well.
Might have missed a round or so.
Yeah, maybe he missed that whole round. Not too sure. And Meads dropped all the way down to 15th, even with a dropped round. Welcome to 2 complete races missed.
Right. Gotcha. So that's that for the drivers. We also have the team standings. And that's a little off in my... Looks a little weird.
It does look a little weird.
I still don't know how these team standings work. Like, I don't even know.
Yeah. I mean, they've got total points there. That's all you need to look at. Super clean team unseating Legion GTR there. Legion GTR featuring FTR has fallen 4 spots down to 5th, with both Warwick and Burkett falling out of the top 15. They scored 0 points for round 5, which is strange because Tactical's there, but doesn't matter.
Right. Yeah, so interesting. So this week we also had Tora starting up a Trans Am series this week. They did UK and US side. We'll start off with the US side. Harmonic up top with I believe they do 2 races. Yeah. So Harmonic up top, Mr. Drive, Drifting Hero, EVR Mead, and THR Tri Pass and round out your top 5. Pretty tight. Well, I think it was at Laguna Seca, so
was at Laguna Seca.
There is a drop run, guys, so if you want to get involved in this as well and you're just finding out about it right now, go ahead and head over to...
It's not too late, yeah, that's right.
The Online Racing Association. There's a link in the description below, actually. So go ahead and get yourself signed up. It's a good series. The builds are all spec as well, so yeah.
Yeah, I'm in this one, but I'm not in the top 15 right now because I didn't make the second race of that, so I've only scored 1 round, one race worth of points.
There you go. But yeah, so a couple new guys that I'm noticing as well. FRF Dysterical, and who was the other one I noticed? TUS Julian as well. Maybe their debut in league racing, possibly. I may be wrong.
It's gonna be their first couple. Yeah.
I was gonna say I haven't seen them yet, so if they have been in other ones and I didn't know, Guys, let me know in the live chat. I could be wrong. I know Julian is in RC, so I'm not counting that though. I'm talking,
Okay.
I'm talking league racing, not RC.
Yeah, community league racing.
Yeah,
we understand. We understand.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the important stuff, guys. Forza RC is nothing.
yeah, for sure. Team standings as well in the U.S. Grip Tech Performance up top, and then we got THR and followed by Aerox. Is that Aerox Lightning? Oh no, AX4X Lightning. I'm sorry, AX4.
Yeah, I was wondering where you were getting Aerox from.
Well, Aerox,
yeah,
FTR.
both AX4X teams up there, and then Swordfish Motorsports. So I think he's scoring all those points by himself. No, he can't be.
I couldn't.
I'm not sure who's Dark's team that is. Anyway.
Yeah. UK side as well, we have Mr. Drive up top and Mead and Drifting Hero and Tripassin all doing double duty. Good for them. They are up top. They're in the top 5. All 3 of them, I think, are in the top 5 for both series. So they're all doing a well of a job. I will say I know Tripassin is very quick in those cars, in those Trans Am sort of muscly cars.
Yeah, he is real quick. Yeah,
so
definitely towards the front of the field.
Yeah, for sure.
And we can just give a shout out to DR Argato, who's in the top 10 after that round.
Yeah, boy.
Yeah. I was so proud of him, man.
Yeah. And then we got team standings. This is all we have. There's only 5 teams, it looks like. And,
yeah, that's correct.
So it's a little small on my window here, but it'll do.
Yeah, Grip Tech taking out the top spot there, followed by EVR, followed by McLeod Racing Team. And then AX4X Harrier and Spitfire somehow doesn't have a car choice, but definitely has a round points. So, yep.
I couldn't tell you what's going on there.
I'm not too sure either.
But Grip Tech leading both UK and US, so good for them. It's awesome. So, yeah.
And I believe you have an apology to make to someone.
Yeah, I have to apologize to MEA Mayhem's Racing Week. I did not have time to add their standings in here. I will say, I believe HCR, they have a prototype challenge going on, and HCR Yuko is leading it right now. That's all I have on that right now. More information next week, I promise. So I apologize for this week. Yeah. But
yeah, I just wanted to quickly touch on MEA. It's a new series, well, kind of like the DOR. It's the new organization. They're trying to focus on driver friendly and be lenient with driver rules and livery rules. So just focusing on the racing, very casual. So if you guys like that and you don't want to spend too much time trying to paint a car or worry about regulations, then that's the place to go.
Yeah, sounds good. And ORL just moved back their Bentley Cup as well. So they moved it forward. They moved it forward 1 week. So if you guys are planning on doing the ORL Bentley Cup, that series has been moved forward 1 week. I believe the start date is September 27th. So if you guys want to get involved, I know it's similar to the Z4 Cup that they did last year. So it should be a good series, for sure. Yeah, so link is in the description as well if you guys want to go get that. That's ORL Esports as well. Dude, I'm prepared. I put all the stuff in the links. Like, what can I say?
Yeah, no, that's good. That's good. That's what you want.
As well. So, all right, well, that's it for community stuff. We have a guest that we got to introduce now, Mr. F4H Super GT, also known as Steve. How's it going, man? Great to have you on the show.
Yeah, very good, thank you. Thanks for having me on the show, yeah.
Yeah, no problem. We'd like to apologize for his muffled voice as well. We've got some weird technical stuff going on before the show. We had some issues.
Some trademark technical difficulties.
Yeah, for sure. This time it wasn't my fault, I swear. It wasn't my fault. So, yeah. But
it's always your fault, bro.
Oh, yeah, just blame me, for sure. So, first thing, let's get right into it. Forza RC, man. I know you attend a lot of the events and everything like that. They just released the groups as well. I'll put these up on screen so you guys can all see them. That's the group stages for Mexico City. So what are your first impressions? Do you have any favorites? Any guys that are looking to make a statement?
I think actually these days it's actually quite hard to tell who's actually going to win. I think you go back maybe to Series 1 and 2, you just say, oh, probably be Lage. But now, I think Roadrunner, Lage and Fox, those are the main 3 you're looking at to probably win it. But there's a couple of other people who definitely stand a chance, I think. The likes of Zoom is due to have a good event because he doesn't always perform in the event. He does really well in qualifying, but he doesn't perform in the event. He could do very well, and obviously he qualified top. And someone else who stands out for me is Mick because he kind of come out of nowhere, did really well in Seattle, and well finished third there. And you just never know what's quite going to happen with him. He could just improve again and win the whole thing. So I think at the moment it's quite hard to tell who's going to win, but that's a good thing on the whole.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's much closer than that first series, like you said, which is really interesting. I think that is usually, it always seems that there's that one guy that's just faster than the rest, but in this case, it's really not. Yeah. I don't know, in pretty much every race series, it tends to be that way. But it's just, yeah.
Well, last week we were talking about, the three guys in North America and how they just seem so far ahead of everyone else in North America. You got Force One, Lightning, and Venom just absolutely separating themselves. And it'll be curious to see where, what they can do because, the guys that you mentioned, Super GT was, Lage starting third in his group. Box is obviously starting pole position, and Roadrunner starting third as well. They got to go through, Roadrunner's got to go through Venom and Zoom to get up into that top spot and qualify, really well for the semifinals and ultimately the finals, as well as Lage. He's got to get around Venom and Box, and those guys are no slouches. And from what we've seen from those guys as well, it's going to be tough for them to even make up one position. And then they've got the likes of Vanquish and Seven right behind them.
Yeah,
the qualifying is really important because when you're so evenly paced in a Forza lobby, it's actually in the same car, in the same tune, it's really hard to overtake each other. If the guy in front isn't making mistakes, it's very hard. And Lage, starting third, he sort of traditionally suffers in traffic. If he's out the front, it's really hard to beat him. But because he's third, it's actually quite a difficult position for him. But like you say, Force One, a couple of the American guys there, Force One and Venom, Lightning's had success before, but I think Force One and Venom could step forward to do something good. Maybe like racers as well. There's a couple of people in there who they keep getting better and better, and you just never know when it might be their time. But someone like Force One, I think he's been getting slowly better and better, and he's potentially with an outside shot of winning the whole thing.
I think he's got a great shot, to be honest. I've been saying for the last couple of weeks though, I think he's really got a good shot to win, and you look at the way he's been performing in North America, I think he's got a good shot. What about the guys lower down, like the likes of South and Chris and THR Knee, maybe FRF Tesla, some of the guys we've never heard before. Any of those guys at the bottom, do you think they can sneak in and get a good position in the semifinals at all? Any of those guys stand out to you?
It's definitely possible. I think you do need a bit of luck. I think in racing, the best drivers just typically always find themselves at the front. So which is why you always see Roadrunner, Lage, Box. They're always up the top. So I think it will be hard for someone who's a little bit lower down, maybe like a couple of attempts off the pace, to win the whole thing or go on the podium. But you just never know. If someone can have a really good couple of rounds, get themselves up to the front of the grid for the last final, for the final, it's possible. I think it's possible to kind of keep your position at the front and defend and have success based off your qualifying.
Yeah. Jason, what about you? Do you see any of those guys maybe starting 8th on back that you think could surprise some people?
You said GTZ Chris, and he had a really amazing round early on in the Forza RC.
Not GTZ Chris, ESC Chris.
Oh, not GTZ Chris? ESC Chris? Well, yeah. I don't know. Oh, man, I've only seen ESC Chris a couple of times, but I don't think he had amazing pace compared to anybody else. Probably the person that's going to surprise anybody the most is probably going to be Mitch, like Super GT said. He's sort of come out of nowhere, and he's got this, near on Lage pace. He puts in good laps. He works real hard, I assume. I can only really wait and see what happens. Mainly, it's too hard to make predictions with how close everybody is, and just the sweet physics of Forza and the nature of racing. Who knows who's going to have an accident and fall well down the grid?
Yeah, from what I've seen from South, I think that if he gets his feet wet and really finds some footing, I think that he can move forward. The other thing, Billy Sue starting 9th in his group really speaks to me because He's got tremendous pace. The fact that I think is because he missed one Wednesday showdown that set him back. But I believe that he can make his way up through, maybe get a top 6 finish, a couple of those in his Group 1.
Are you secretly Ali Tack?
Dude, whatever. I gotta shout out Billy, man. He's my boy, dude.
Yeah, no, sure, yeah.
For sure, yeah. All right. Also, 2 guys that were in the top 36 that aren't going are JSR Commando and Rich 92 F1. So that allowed for the bottom 2 guys to go. I believe that was Solo King and Flax, I believe. So be interesting to see how they do as well. So should be quite interesting.
Yeah, I mean it's a tight championship.
Yeah, for sure. Forza came out with an update as well this week. Jason, I know you have a little bit more intel than I do on the update in terms of, especially, I know they came out with some drag stuff as well. Have you had a chance to play around with anything that came out in the update yet?
Yeah, I was playing around with the drag thing the other day, trying to get well with #1 time in some pretty silly things, but overall it was really fun. If you're a drag racer, if you're not, then it's pretty much a pointless update for you, but if you ever wanted to give it a go, it's quite fun to cut a 000 reaction time and try and get as low as you can on the leaderboard, but it's a nice change.
Did you?
I can see that being pretty good for some online stuff, like some hopper stuff, compared to the current hopper drag racing, which is pretty silly. Yeah.
Did you try it, Steve, at all? Have you tried the new update at all?
I haven't. I mean, I've played Forza since it came out. I haven't directly tried the new features, but I am impressed with the feature where you can sort of drop in and out of a practice session. I think that's pretty cool, because I've always wanted to be able to sort of host a session, like a practice session, where you don't have to keep backing out because someone's chosen the wrong car or something like that, where you have to keep. It takes ages, just going back into the lobby and then going back into the race just because someone did something wrong. So being able to do that, I think it's a good addition to the game.
I'm sure it'd be great for your open lobby live streams and stuff like that. That'd be quite cool. So you must be pretty excited about that. I'm sure.
Yeah, it definitely helps with that. So it's actually quite hard hosting an open lobby with the way that all the invites work and everything. But anything that makes it easier, I'm all for it.
Yeah, absolutely. It's really good for league practice, as I did for Trans Am. We had an open lobby and guys just came and went as they pleased. It was quite cool. It felt kind of real, just being out on track, and then people were just joining you and leaving as they felt like it.
Yeah, that's really cool. I wanna give that a go. I haven't actually had a chance to do that, but if you guys have tried that in the chat, let us know how you guys like that practice session, because I haven't even tried it yet, but it sounds pretty cool.
The only annoying thing is that your lap times from them don't count towards anything. Like, no leaderboards pick that up, which is kind of annoying.
Oh, that's a good way if you're a league racer to not have
practice
your lap without your lap times uploading to boards. Yeah, there you go. So people can't spy on you. But
that's silly. But yeah, whatever.
So
each
Steve,
to their own.
One of the things I wanted to ask you was, you play a lot of racing games. What could Forza benefit the most from improving on, that other games are doing?
Well, the first thing that strikes me is sort of cleaning up the online aspect. So you go onto a hopper, the racing isn't always close, and it's often very messy. Or not often, it's just always messy. So there needs to be some sort of system to, well, first off, ghosting back markers would help. I think in a 5-minute race, if you're lapping someone, just ghost them, because they're probably there to do something bad. It could learn from Formula 1 and Gran Turismo, where you have sportsmanship rating. So the game kind of judges you on how well you're trying to drive, and therefore, if you drive well, it separates you into a race with other people who try to drive well. That way, at least all the people who are trying to be stupid, they're all together over there somewhere, and it doesn't matter anymore. So it doesn't eliminate the problem, but it just separates them. So it's fine for the people who do want to race properly. So there's little things they could do just to improve the online, and I don't think it would be too too much work to do that, and it would just make the online so much better.
Yeah, I've watched a lot of your I forgot what it's called now, GT Sport videos, and how much of an effect does the penalty system have on the racing? Like, I see you get some pretty ridiculous penalties for some pretty small shit, and I'm just wondering how much that affects the gameplay for you personally.
Yeah, I'd say like 70% of the time it's fine. 30% of the time you think, oh god, that penalty wasn't right. So turn 10, definitely, it's going to take some work to get a system that is perfect, because it's really hard to work something out that.
Yeah.
With so many people crashing in so many different possible ways, it's hard to get a system that will work every time perfectly. So it's not always going to work properly unless they really, really make this a good system. But on the whole, having a penalty system does improve it, because if you cut corners, you get a penalty. It's very clear. Okay, I won't cut corners anymore. So, I mean, on that front, it works a lot. It's just more with the contact. It doesn't always work, so it's hard to decide if you got the inside someone make contact, who was at fault. It's quite hard.
Right. Yeah.
So
on the whole, it does make the racing better.
Okay.
So what about for, say, a more competitive racer, someone who does a lot of community racing like league racing or RC racing? What kind of update to the game or improvement to the game do you think would benefit them more so than the online aspect of the online hopper?
Well, something I would like added to the game, which I think more of the hardcore players would enjoy, is just more strategy with the racing, because I sometimes feel that the racing is just be fast and that's it. There's no tires, there's no tire compounds, there's no fuel saving. It's just go quickly and then that's it. Be quick and consistent. There's no other elements to the racing really. So I think it is a motorsport game, and fuel saving your tires. It sounds boring, but it is a big part of motorsport, and I think they could work on that, and it will just add another dimension to the racing.
That's what I was going to say, is that multi-dimensional racing is really cool, and when I watch it on GT Sport, when you do it, it's not that boring. It really isn't. Seeing you save 20% more fuel than the guy behind you and just jumping him in the guy in front of you and jumping him in the pits is quite exciting. Yeah. And tire wear, managing your tires, all that, it's really cool. And compounds, I think, is always a good one to have as well.
Yeah.
As F1 series has that quite well. I thought that was quite good. Well done.
Yeah.
So just adding something like that, because it just to really diversify the racing, because it really is just about pace. There's nothing wrong with that, because obviously you want to be the fastest, but maybe just to freshen up the racing a little bit, and it would make it more of a motorsport game, because it is a bit weird that you don't have that, and like the pit stops don't really mean anything. You just go in and go out. Nothing happens really.
I would like to see one of the things that I've noticed that most racing games don't do anymore is, so when I was little, I had my dad and I, we used to race on we had a wheel and we had our PC, and I used to race on NASCAR 2002 or something like that, and you would actually have to slow down to pit speed, and then on top of that you had to drive through the pits without speeding, and then pull into your pit box, and then wait for your crew to change your wheel, your tires or whatever, do whatever, and then once they're done, then you actually have to drive out of the pits and at the proper speed. It was actually involved.
A fully simulated pit window. Yeah.
So I think that Forza could definitely benefit from adding that element to it, to where you can actually drive into the pits and you have to meet a certain speed requirement. Maybe not in online hoppers. You know what I mean? I mean, I don't know how they could add it without doing online hoppers, but you know what I'm saying. So especially for league racing, I think it'd be more beneficial.
Well, most hoppers are cosmetic and about 3 to 5 laps at the most.
Right.
So I don't think it would matter too much.
But in a Endurance GT lobby, it would.
Yeah, but the people that do Endurance GT are a bit more serious generally anyway.
This is something they could change anyway, because I think the focus on 5-minute races isn't great. But it's not a bad thing to have 5-minute races. But at the same time, there should be a bit more options to have slightly longer. I know there's the endurance hopper, but that's about the only hopper where you have a race longer than 6 minutes. So they need to increase that, change it a little bit, work on the online. Like the track vote is still awful.
Oh,
VIR,
don't even
up.
get me started on that.
Night races, just get rid of that. Just stop it. Completely stop all that. Because I think they just haven't. It's not really developed. It's just stayed the same or got worse,
Yeah.
and they haven't really worked on it. It just seems like they've kind of stood still for a couple of games on the online.
Yeah, I'd like to see them, like, I don't think I've ever seen Laguna Seca show up as a voting option on Forza online hoppers. I just haven't. But then I see VIR Patriot North in the rain, like, or whatever the hell the combination is, at least 4 times in a row. Like, they have so many names, I don't even know what they are anymore, dude.
Yeah, that needs to be sorted. It's such a basic thing, but it really ruins the experience, just having to do the same track. I mean, I was doing it the other day, and I had Homestead Oval, and then I don't mind doing an oval race, but then the next race was Homestead Oval. That never be able to happen. Never.
Yeah. I mean, it does seem now that we talked about that like the drift suspension and the drag racing upgrades kind of seem like a bit of a gimmicky. We're doing things, and yet like the core problems still exist. I don't know. At least they're doing something, I suppose.
Yeah, I mean, like we said, we've been saying it's getting progressively better, but it's not quite there yet. You know what I mean? There's still a couple things they got to work out. But I mean, yeah, the track selection. They need to set it so it's not like each track has one, whatever the chance is. You need to set it so each environment has the same chance, so that like a track like Laguna Seca that only has one combination has just as much of a chance of showing up as VIR that has 640 million. Whatever combinations.
I mean, all they need to do is go through the list of all the hoppers, and then list out, have like a grid, all the tracks, all of the hoppers, and then just go, this hopper should only have these tracks, this hopper should only have these tracks, and get rid of all the crappy VIR at night, whatever. Just have VIR main, and then have each of those tracks has an equal chance of coming up in the vote. It's really as simple as that. It would take one person a couple of hours just to do that. But to get the track and the list of each hopper, which track that hopper should have, but it's been overlooked, and it's a simple thing, but hopefully that gets sorted.
Yeah, and guys, if you let us know in the chat what hoppers you guys would like to see as well in the game. I know they used to have they had a touring car one that I wanted to do, but I didn't really have too much time to do. But it seems like they keep cycling it. But if they were to have like say 10-minute hoppers, what kind of hoppers would you guys like to see? Let us know in the live chat. For sure. I would like to see a permanent touring car one, to be honest. That's my vote. You know what I mean? I would race that.
V8 supercar ones are always good too. Like, I know
V8 supercars.
Steve loves them. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, with Bathurst in the game now, it's even better. So, yeah.
Cool. Guys, also don't forget to subscribe to the channel as well. And there's also a donation thing as well. If you guys love us or Super GT, feel free to donate. And subscribe to the channel, man. That's all I gotta say. So, Steve, one other thing that we always ask everybody this: how did you get into like racing, and how did you get into Forza specifically?
Yeah, sure. Racing. Okay, so I was trying to think about this earlier. What really brought me into racing? I think 2 things. My dad was always into Formula One. He would always watch it. So as a result, I'd always watch it. And the second is that I live quite close to Buckmore Park, probably one of the best kart track in the country. So I'd be driving past it every day. So I was always interested in trying to do racing, like actual racing myself. And I was always watching Formula One. So I think that's where the interest started from quite a young age. As for Forza, I was always a PlayStation guy. So PlayStation 1, PlayStation 2, like Gran Turismo 1, 2, 3, and 4. But then I think the PlayStation 3 took ages to come out, so we just bought an Xbox 360 instead. And by default, I suppose, Forza's the big game, big racing game on Xbox. So I got Forza 2, so 2007. That's when it started for me. But I was really taken in by sort of the detail. I remember Dan Green was talking about the independent suspension on the cars and like going through the telemetry, and I thought, oh, that's really good, the way that they've gone into everything in so much detail. on Forza. So, I mean, that's where it started for me on Forza, really, just mainly because I couldn't wait for a PlayStation 3, so I just went for an Xbox. But it just carried on since then.
Yeah, that's amusing. I didn't realize that your whole Forza 4 career was based on your impatience.
Yeah, essentially it is.
Yeah, that's great. Like, I think I've seen a couple of your videos from Forza 4 and stuff like that. I thought that was quite good. Did it take a long time to get proficient at the game? Did you struggle? Like,
Well, I think on Forza 2 I wasn't that great. I think I've only really started being quite good. Maybe on Forza 4, but like to a level where I could compete on Forza 6. I went to Le Mans, competed there. But it's taken a long time actually. I'd say Forza 2 I was average, I was okay. Forza 4 was like okay, I could win races, and then so it's taken a long time actually to get quite good.
Interesting.
So like,
Yeah,
what were you gonna say, Jason?
I was just gonna say it's like it's definitely a learning curve for some people. Something along those lines. Go on, though. Yeah.
I was gonna ask him. So like, for drivers that are looking to improve their pace, like what could you say to them that maybe would make them or help them out at all? Like, what's the most important kind of advice you could give them?
Yeah, there's a couple of things. Like the first thing is you have to learn the assist off. You basically have to do that. If you don't, you don't stand a chance. So you go out of your comfort zone. I think most people are kind of afraid. Let's say you're using automatic with traction control and ABS. People are kind of afraid to sort of, I can't do manual, so I'm not going to do it. But if you want to be quicker, you just have to. Like you have to learn it. So don't be afraid to kind of go out your comfort zone, learn the assist off. The main thing you can do once you've done that is just really learn from the best players, from the faster players. So if someone overtakes you and they take a different line, you try and take that on board. What have they done? Have they braked later? Have they used a different gear than me? Or are they just using a better car? I don't know. Also go to the rivals board and look at replays, study replays. What gear are they using? Where are they braking? I think once you know where people are braking, once you know where to brake, everything kind of falls into place with the corner. You get the braking point right, you get your gear choice right, and then the rest of the corner will kind of follow nicely. So on the whole though, learn the assist off, don't be afraid to go out of your comfort zone and learn from the better players. Try and understand what they're doing because they're obviously good for a reason. And that's the best place to learn from the people who are faster than you.
It sounds simple when you say it, but like I know that everyone will struggle with this.
Yeah.
That's all I've got to say on that one.
Yeah, like for me, like, I'm like in that threshold where I would say I'm very competitive in an A lobby race. In ORL and Tora, I can consistently hit top 7s, top 8s, sneak a few wins here and there. But I've never had that that pace that you see out of like tactical and those front wheel drive cars or anything like that. Is there anything like? Did you take away anything from when you went to Le Mans, like when you were surrounded by all those guys? What was like your biggest takeaway from being around all those guys that are just so incredibly amazing at the game?
Yeah, that was a really good event actually. You learned a lot from that because, well, the first thing that struck me was really that competing live in the same room as everyone when they're right next to you is really hard and it's really different. Because being at home in your own chair, your own screen, own headset, it's a lot easier. It's a lot easier, and there's not as much pressure. But when you're there, you do find it a lot. I think anyone who hasn't done it before, been to a live event, is at a massive disadvantage if they're going to their first one and trying to compete because just the nerves are so much more intense. But yeah, being live at the event, it was really good. I love all the Forza guys. It was good couple of events I've had. Like there was the New York Invitational, a couple of times in Seattle and Le Mans. So just had a really good time with everyone, and racing against them in a live setting. It was just a really good event. Just really enjoyed it. You kind of get I noticed in racing, kind of if people are a bit quicker than you, kind of get pulled along at their pace. You kind of become better just by being around that kind of level. If you're racing rubbish people, you're not really improving. If you're racing people who are better than you, you get better. So it was good for that reason.
It's a bit of a steel sharpens steel sort of thing, isn't it? If you running blunt steel on blunt steel, it's not going to get any sharper. But yeah, I can understand that.
I like that analogy. Quality analogy. I've never heard it before, but that's a quality analogy.
But I thought it was pretty common. But yeah, like if you're racing a bunch of guys that are slower than you, you're never really getting challenged or anything like that. You just win every race, and it kind of just seems really stale. And you feel like a bit of a god, sure, but like if you step out into the bigger pool, then the sharks eat you. So, yeah,
there you go.
There's no real benefit to being a big fish in a small pond, basically.
Yeah.
So your YouTube channel, it's grown immensely. You've created a lot.
Yeah, congrats on 100K.
Yeah, man, congrats on that. Your YouTube channel has grown. You've got a fan base. Most of the people in the Forza community know who you are. If they don't, you must live under a rock. Right. If you don't know. So when you're coming up with your YouTube stuff, how do you consistently come up with content each week that's like substantial and that interests people? Because you don't get that many subscribers without having interesting content.
Well, I think the funny thing about Forza is that I only have to sign in and do one race, and so much crap would have happened. And it's really, in many ways, I don't even have to try. Just go online, I like S-Class, so just log in and just pick a car. And first corner, everyone's dead. So it's just in that sense, it's quite easy just to create content because it just creates itself. You don't even have to bother. But a lot of the time, it's like ongoing series. So like Stock Car Challenge, try to race online without tuning your car, try and beat as many people as you can.
Yeah, I like that one. That's a good one.
He's in the chat, and obviously I'm faster than him.
I'd like to see that fight, by the way. I'd like to see that fight.
Yeah, for sure.
Have a battle.
Gloves on, boys.
But yeah, there's a couple of ongoing series, so you just continue those series. And a lot of the time, it's just what people say in the comments. Just read what they say. Think, I think you should try this, or do this, use this car, or try this challenge. And a lot of the time, the creativity comes from what people want to see. So just listen to the comments, basically.
Yeah, makes sense. Yeah,
it does make sense. I mean, I used to watch all your league racing, so I watched like a whole bunch of your V8 supercars in Forza Motorsport 6. Would you do more league racing in Forza 7 if I don't know, or like some GT Sport league racing?
Yeah, I mean, I struggle for time, but I do want to get back into the league racing. I really enjoy it. I think the AOR V8 supercars was one of my favourite series of videos that I've ever done. I really enjoyed that. And big shout out to Jacob Balkett for inspiring us to start league racing. I was pretty pleased about that because he's really quick now.
Yeah, he really is. It's ridiculous with GT3 cars as well.
Yeah, he's super great. He almost qualified for Mexico. I think he was 43rd, 42nd in the world. So
I don't think he tried that hard on the Forza RC side of things either.
I know in the last week he did.
Oh well, there you go.
Yeah, but no, yeah, that's pretty good. I know for me, league racing has elevated my game for sure. In fact, what's funny is most people don't know how I got into Forza and stuff like that, and that's for another day. But ultimately, I ended up finding your video on how to get faster on Forza, and that's it was turn all the assists off and stuff like that. And the funny thing is, you mentioned being scared. I remember literally logging on and just using my thumb to switch the gears, and I was like, how the hell do you do this? I was so bad at it. I was so bad at it. The first 20 minutes I was doing it. And then I was like, once I actually got used to it, I was like, this is actually way more fun because I think I'm driving the car.
This is the thing I was saying about getting better. You kind of have to go over that hump of, yeah, you will be worse for a bit, but you just have to get over that, and then after that, you will be faster. So it is work. It is a bit annoying for the first, I don't know, 20 minutes or however long, but once you get over that, then the game just becomes so much more fun. Once you can control the car yourself and not make the game do it for you. Once you can do that, it's much more rewarding, much more fun, and you'll be faster.
Yeah. And would you say that, like, you know, doing community racing as well, like league community racing, definitely improves your pace as well?
Oh, 100%, yeah. I mean, the main thing is if you are racing against people who are better than you or faster than you, you're going to improve. Trying to get pulled along on the track, almost literally, but at the same time, if someone's ahead of you in the championship, there's a sort of a reason to practice more, to try to do better. So in that sense, there's an actual reason to improve. So league racing is really good for that.
Yeah, definitely is. I had one quick question for you. When you're saying pulling along, and all I could think of was drafting. When you go from GT Sport to Forza, do you miss the draft?
Well, I think on GT Sport it's too strong. To the point, because you have fuel saving on Gran Turismo, you can just sit behind people and just save fuel and just sit in their toe and get pulled around and save like 10% more fuel than them. So yeah, Forza has basically zero slipstreaming. It just doesn't really have an effect at all. So I think both games get it wrong. Gran Turismo is too much, Forza has too little. But again, it's a motorsport thing, and they need to kind of work it a little bit because I think it needs to be a little bit stronger.
Oh, okay. Yep.
Yeah, because I remember, Jason, I don't think you were around when we did this, but we did, when I was on DRR, I would organize, like, local tournaments for, like, our DRR members or whatever. And
I did the Porsche one.
Yeah, but I think this is the one before the Porsche one. It was the NASCAR one. And, yeah, I don't think you're on the team yet. But I organized the NASCAR one. The first race we did was Daytona, and I played around with, like, so many different aero settings and stuff on the cars and like settings on the cars to try to get somewhat of a draft to work, you know, for like pack racing, and it didn't work.
Yeah.
Like I couldn't get these cars to pack race on Daytona and NASCARs like they do, like you see on TV, because there's just no draft. Like it doesn't work. Like the side draft works more than the actual draft behind you. Like you poke your nose out to the left a little bit, and that's how you get a run on somebody. It's not right behind them.
Yeah, that seems strange. Yeah. I would like to see a more realistic drafting in Forza. That'd be cool. And probably GT Sport 2. That'd be cool too. See just more realistic stuff. Like, I don't know. Is it really that hard for game developers to develop that sort of thing? I don't know.
I don't know. Do you have any coding experience, Steve?
None at all. I mean, I'd love to just go into the Turn 10 office and kind of just give them a list of things that they can
wish listed. Yeah.
Do this, and this, and you're not going home until it's done.
Yeah. I think I'm down for that. Everybody who wants to see that happen, petition. We're gonna get it signed.
Doing a live stream.
Yeah.
GoPro on my head.
Yeah. Vlog it. Yeah, I like that idea.
Commando
I want to
just
see you
said
scream
that
at some coders. Just.
Yeah, Commando just said that the car in front goes faster and
Forza.
No, he's right though. Like he's actually right. Like you get to a certain threshold, like you're drafting them, and it gets to like 30 feet, and then it stops working, and then the car in front, like all of a sudden, just takes your draft and starts pulling away. Like it's ridiculous.
It seems weird, yeah, and I don't know. I feel like it would make the racing closer if there was drafting in Forza.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Like you'd have a lot more guys at the front trying to chase that guy down. Of course.
Yeah, so. All right, well, we got one more thing left to do today, guys, and that is the G2 Mega Hot Lap Challenge. If you guys think that Super GT can beat Raceboy's time last week, let us know, or do you think Raceboy is going to hold on? That's your leaderboard right there. We've got Raceboy on top with a 101.679. That is your top time at the moment. So Super GT going to try to beat him. So
I'm guessing I won't.
No.
I watched it, and I don't know how he does it. Because I don't know. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, 101. He smashed it like 1.5 seconds quicker than Mellish.
Yeah,
on top. I mean, that's ridiculous.
Don't be intimidated. Don't be intimidated. We believe in you.
As long as I'm not last, okay.
So, all right. So when you're ready, man, go ahead and ready up, and we'll send you in.
Okay.
Jason, you've got to spectate as well.
Yeah, I'm working on it.
Get some
Does the
sound up in
spectate
here.
show the cockpit views? Because I don't know if the viewers have seen how bad this is.
It doesn't show cockpit view, unfortunately, and we haven't ever gotten around to showing them. But if you feel free to put this out on your video.
Yeah, because guys, drive the Caterham R500. The rearview mirror blocks your entire view. You can't see anything.
Yeah, exactly.
It's so beautiful.
I can't see anything. Like, it's absolutely ridiculous.
Alright, so guys, he's doing his sighting lap right now. He's just getting a feel for the car, going around the track. Gonna do his best to, not look like a fool.
Oh my god.
Remember, he has no practice on this car, and he's in forced cockpit view with no assist on, so he doesn't even have a line, no ABS, no TCS, anything like that. And he's trying to beat Raceboy to take the lead and try to win a full rig setup by GT Omega. So, a lot on the line here, for sure. So let's see if he can do it.
Right, quick practice start.
So he's going to come down here to the arrow here, and he's going to... Well, actually, first he's going to do a practice start, apparently.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a delay. That's
yeah. Are you going to be running simulation steering or normal?
Just normal. I think this will be pure death in sim steering.
I think Box ran sim steering, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. So did Commando. But
that's right, yeah.
No pressure. No pressure to use sim steering to see. Don't worry. I don't think Raceboy used sim steering.
No, yeah, he used normal. He used normal steering.
Is this the right place? About here?
Yeah.
About there. Yeah, that's good, Steve.
Okay, yeah, anytime. Just go.
Yeah, man. Whenever you're ready, go ahead. All right. Atex Johnson is predicting a 105, so you better smash him.
Johnson knows nothing.
He's just a German potato, from what I hear.
Yeah, Johnson would be 205. Oh yeah, high gears. That's what you want.
Wow, really wide on that first turn.
Yeah, I can't see because of the mirror.
He got scared. Yeah. You just gotta imagine the track, Steve. You gotta picture the track and then just lean in, commit.
By the way, the tune is awful.
No worries. I take that as a compliment.
Hold up. I think it's going to be really bad.
Your car looks stable though. You look like you're able to control it though.
Yeah, less is more, I think, in this car.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's definitely the way you got to take this one. Through the famous love tunnel.
Oh man, it's shocking time. Oh, that's not too bad. 104.0.
104.0. All right. Not bad. Not bad. Got to shave off 3.5.
I'm only 4 tenths off a box.
Yeah. There you go. That's gotta be reassuring.
Yeah.
You beat Bokit. You beat Bokit.
Oh well, I might as well just give up now then. I've done it.
Wouldn't that be nice? So you got another 3 seconds to go, Steve.
So he's doing his second sighting lap now, just going around and getting another feel for the car, so he can come back around to his starting point. Guys, if you like the livery as well, it's by GTR Dose Rocks. So there's a space between Dose and Rocks. Go ahead and pick that up if you want for this absolute horrid car. Yeah, go ahead and do it. It's a great livery.
Go ahead and do
it.
Yeah, go rock it in Rivals, because you can't use this car in lobbies or anything like that. It's a bit of an oversight, but hey.
Is it banned?
Yeah, it is. Bit of an oversight, but we'll live with it. We'll live with it.
So from maybe unreliable or reliable sources, you should launch the car in 5th.
Really?
I don't know.
Yeah,
That's why I said maybe unreliable.
It works for a very new player.
Yeah.
Well, let's try it. Okay, I'm going to try it here.
CVGT tryhard nerd.
Not bad.
No, that's way wide.
Oh!
Yeah. I cannot control this thing.
I'm not sorry, CVGT, I'm sorry.
He's sorry. He's sorry that he's not sorry.
That is correct. I enjoy watching everybody struggle in my tune, honestly. I feel like a bit of an evil mastermind.
It's Commando. That's why I sucked and crashed on every start.
Oh god.
If it makes you feel any better, Steve, whoa, Box crashed twice. So on 2 out of his 3 laps. So yeah.
I don't think this is going to be quicker.
Wow, really slidey.
Yeah, he's struggling. It's so tempting to put in more throttle, but it makes you go slower. It's quite counterintuitive.
105.2. He's got to shave off some time. Oh, what is he doing? Tire wall.
Practice crash.
Practice crash.
Who said fifth? I'm not launching a fifth again.
That was Kicker. Yeah, you should listen to him anyway.
Warwick told me.
Oh yeah, okay, Warwick, yeah.
But yeah. Warwick also doesn't have the tune, so I don't know how he said that. But hey, whatever.
Well, he just gave advice to Danny, to be fair.
Oh, that's
Danny
right.
was
Okay.
Struggling to launch it all. Yeah.
Yeah. Someone asked who the bottom guy was below Alan Walsh. That would be Legion Gaming CEO Danny Clark.
Shout out to our guy holding the wooden spoon there. You know. We love you, Danny.
All right.
So he's got one more shot here. His best time so far is a 104 flat, I believe. 104 flat, I think, yeah.
I'll be happy to beat Lage. 103.6, is it?
Box, you mean?
Yeah, sorry. Like,
I wish Lage was on this show.
Just don't go so wide on the first turn and you got it, man.
yeah. I know I'd beat Lage anyway, so.
Be careful, you might have to eat those words. If he wins Mexico or London, we're gonna bring him on.
We're gonna try to bring him on. He still has to agree to it.
True. All right, last attempt for Super GT.
Stupid mirror, man. I had to turn away from the apex there.
Oh, that looks like a much better line. Oh, just turn away.
You would have been good.
You would have been good too. Oh man.
Yeah, I can't see it.
You didn't trust CVGT. You didn't commit.
Just gone full send.
Lick the stamp, mate. Send it.
Yeah, we can see.
Get a little bit of hood view action here on the last lap. See if you can do it.
Right.
I love me some hood view.
A little squirrely under braking. Little.
Oh.
That's wide.
Yeah.
We'll allow it.
Oh, he's all over the place. Oh my goodness.
Oh my god, this car.
Compliments to the chef, I take it.
Come on.
All over the place.
101.
Moving around. 101?
Oh, no, 104.4.
Oh. All right, so his first lap was his best lap.
Yeah. Got worse.
Well, you got worse and you got better, but you didn't improve. Your PB was... Yeah.
Still not too bad at that time, I suppose.
Solid.
Yeah, it's not bad.
Smashed it.
That puts you... Let's see here. Let's see where that puts you. 104 flat will put you...
Just in front of Bokit.
Yeah, just in front of or just in front of Commando. Just in front of Commando.
Oh,
Yeah,
you beat Commando as well. Oh, well.
I'll beat Commando in a fight as well.
Oh, calling you out.
I believe that. Commando said he couldn't fight when I asked him.
Wow, that's good fun.
Yeah, I'm glad you enjoyed it. And enjoyed that mirror too.
How did you like the car? How did it feel?
Oh, absolutely awful.
That's what I like to
the
hear.
worst part of driven on this game.
Billy Sue actually liked it. Billy Sue actually liked the car.
Billy Sue says a lot of stuff like that, though.
Yeah, he does.
Billy
He
Sue's
does,
a weird
to be
guy.
fair, yeah. Yeah, for sure. But yeah, so that was good. So,
Oh,
I might
apparently you're in
actually-
sixth. Is that true? Is
Oh,
it,
no.
oh, he's sixth. That's awesome.
that's not
Wow.
even scripted. How do you do that? Like,
That's amazing.
I bet your first return to league racing, you finished 6th overall as well.
Yep.
Calling it now. Taking bets, guys. That's it's always a safe bet.
Sixth. That just made my day. That's awesome that he's sixth.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for coming on the show, man. Hope you enjoyed it. It's a pleasure having you on.
Yeah, thank you for inviting me. Really good, actually. Good to just talk about Forza, you know?
Yeah.
It's a big part of my life. I spend all the time on it. And yeah, it's good to be able to chat about it.
Yeah. So, guys,
It was good to hear from you. Yeah.
I was gonna say, guys, if you want to check out his YouTube channel, it's Super GT.
If you haven't checked it out already.
I was gonna say, if you haven't checked it out, I don't know what you're doing with your life. And
If
play
you're
Forza,
here and you haven't seen Super GT,
but yeah. So
What I'd say is go back and watch. If you're just watching this one as your first one, go watch some of the older episodes as well. There's some really good ones here. Like Raceboy did an episode, so there's a lot to learn from what these guys are saying.
go watch.
Not maybe from me, but from Raceboy, yeah.
I was gonna say, go watch his first video and listen to his commentary. It's golden, right, Super GT?
Oh no, don't do that. I was going to delete it now quickly.
take it down. Hide the evidence. Yeah, no, I didn't mind your first ones. They were really I would say pure is the correct word to use there.
Yeah,
Pure. Yeah.
Cool.
I've learned a lot since started, so yeah, it's a lot different back then.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, again, congrats on 100K. Thanks for coming on. Good luck in, I think, Spain's your next round of the F1 career that you're doing.
Oh yeah, when I get around to that, hopefully. But yeah, thanks very much. Yeah, thanks guys.
Yeah, appreciate it, man. Guys,
Love your work, mate.
Thank you so much for tuning into the show today. Make sure you subscribe as well. Like I said, if you haven't seen Super GT's videos, I don't know what you're doing with your life. But yeah, so next week as well, we have Forza Operations Manager for Xbox. TUS Dunk will be joining us next week, and then the following week we are off for Mexico. So hope to see you guys next week with TUS Dunk. In the meantime, thank you so much for tuning in, guys. We'll see you.